We now move to the recognition portion of the order. We're down to public comments. This portion of our meeting, this time is reserved for citizens to speak about items on tonight's agenda or request future discussion topics. As a reminder, each speaker has up to 3 minutes. We ask that comments remain civil and respectful. The board typically does not respond to individual comments during the meeting. First, we'll have Ms. Jessie Walker. Her topic is tailgate Georgetown High School, concerned citizen others.
Georgetown High School tailgate and alumni legacy. Good evening.
Good evening.
In the early 1980s, the Georgetown School Board made a bold and historic decision to end segregation at our city's high school by combining 2 schools into 1, and we became Georgetown High School. And I'm glad to say, and proud to say that I was part of the first graduating class in 1986. And I remember that time clearly. We didn't have the National Guard, or our parents didn't have to fear for our safety. We rode the bus together, sat beside each other, and formed a new identity, not divided by race, but united as Bulldogs. And that unity still matters today. It's been said that the board is trying to stop tailgating on the campus. But if we can't hold it on the campus during the game, then please explain where else should it be. Tailgating is a celebration of school spirit and legacy. And this year, as Georgetown High marks 40 years, it is more important than ever. Our alumni tailgate is not just a party, it's a reunion with purpose. It raises scholarship funds for deserving seniors. It brings back doctors, engineers, teachers, and public servants, many of whom have haven't returned since graduation. Thanks to the hard work of the Alumni Association, they now have a why to come home. Some felt that there is no reason to come home, and that is simply sad. The tailgate guidelines were built with care, but now they're being used against us. More importantly, this decision has been made without dialogue. Not once has the board sat down with the Alumni Association to discuss their concerns and/or solutions. We urge you that you do not erase what we have built. Don't send the message that our legacy doesn't matter. Honor the unity that created the school and allow alumni to celebrate safely and meaningfully on the campus that we built. As elected officials, I pray that you are operating on a nonpartisan standpoint, committed to serving all the people of this community and not just a selected few. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Paul. Next, we'll hear from Mr. Marvin Neal. Topic: homecoming, concerned citizen.
Good evening. House Chairman of the school board members. I just want to echo some of what Walker said and stuff. On last year, and it really came home to me when I heard the topic. I had several calls also in reference to I don't know if homecoming being ended or the discussion is on the floor. But my concern is, and what came home to me last year, there were 2 students at college study, family members. And the picture were in the paper after they left, after the homecoming, and how they met up. And both of them was Navy soldiers. They met up at that homecoming. And the last time that I saw them was a hug at that homecoming. When that time goes away, you know what I'm talking about. So, like Sister Walker said, you know, there's so much that the community come back together. You know, I was glad to see some of my old classmates that I haven't seen in ages. Some right in the community that don't even show up until homecoming. I think it's necessary that safety is the challenge that we have. If the order is the challenge that we have, I think we can overcome that by bringing more safety, more policemen, whatever. Because public safety is public safety. And I don't think that's a choice that anyone should have, whether they protect the public. Because the elected to protect the public. And those that's not elected is appointed by those that are elected to protect the public. So I think we just need to hold some folks accountable to what they're supposed to be doing, even at the school district, there's safety here. I think that communication needs to happen from that side, not from cutting out something, because enough have been cut out of America when it comes to culture and the things that we do as a free people in America. I think it's necessary that we enjoy that freedom that we all fought for. You know, I fought for 21 years military. So I just appreciate if y'all really look at it from a hard standpoint, if that is the case, and make sure that homecoming continues, because the prep rallies, the parades, you know, the tailgating, all that is necessary. Yeah, alcohol and stuff is out there. It's been out there since I was a little boy. That's a long time ago. But the thing is, we can get rid of that. We can turn that and deter that. I think that's the direction we need to go. We don't need to stop something that's good because of somebody that might be bad. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, Mr. Neal. We will now vote to approval of the minutes. Each set of the minutes will be approved separately. First, we'll have a motion to approve the July 10th, 2025 board retreat workshop minutes. Any discussions? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Do I have a motion to approve the July 15th, 2025 regular board workshop minutes?
Second.
All in favor? Any discussions? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposers? Thank you very much. Motion carries. Next, do I have a motion to approve the July 22nd, 2025 special board meeting swearing in ceremony minutes?
Second.
Any discussions? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposers? Thank you. Motion carries. Finally, do I have a motion to approve the July 30th, 2025 special board meeting minutes?
Second.
Any discussions? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you very much. Motion carried. Next, do I have a motion to adopt the agenda as presented?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Thank you very much. We now move into the information section of the agenda. First is the academic overview provided by Ms. Sherry Forrest and Mr. Frederick Combs.
As they prepare, just allow me to again reintroduce this. This will be her first presentation before us as Deputy Superintendent, Ms. Sherry Forrest, and Mr. Coynes, Executive Director of Academics. They put forth a lot of work over the summer, and we're excited about the next steps that we're taking in our academics department. And they're going to share just an overview of what we have in there. As far as if you don't mind, y'all go ahead with just the opening.
Alright.
Good afternoon, board members and Superintendent Giles. It is my honor and pleasure to be able to share with you our academic and student service overview to launch the year. There we go. So within this overview, we will share with you information about summer school, professional learning, division happenings, our focus and priorities as a team for 25-26 school year, and some next steps, future information that we will be sharing in future board meetings. We're going to start with our summer program with Mr. Collins.
Thank you, Ms. Morris. Board members, Dr. Giles, we've had a pretty active short summer, but nevertheless, we are here and we want to provide you with a review of the summer programs for this past summer. So our programs began on June 3rd and ended the last week of June. We have summer programs all across our county. As you can see, we had a high school summer program, a middle school summer program, our reading camp, which is called COAST, which is creating opportunities around science and technology. We had extended school year, which served our special ed population, and our athletic teams also had programs this summer. Also, we had a multilingual learn camp, which most of you probably refer to as the ESOL camp. That's what the previous acronym was. And of course, we have our beach summer programs as well. It's important to note that in our multilingual learner camp, we had 25 students, and that was housed at Maryville Elementary, and our beach summer program, which serves the arts, music, choral, and visual arts, was housed at Georgetown High School, and we served 68 students this past summer. This is a breakdown of our reading camp. Of course, all of you know that the reading camp is a result of the act where our third graders must be proficient or show proficiency before exiting third grade. So we host reading camps across our school district. We do not have a site at every school, but we cluster the schools so we can serve them in the areas that are most conducive, so we can provide adequate transportation and also the support staff that is needed. So our camps this year were Andrews Elementary, Pleasant Hill, Maryville, Sanford, and then at Waccamaw Intermediate. Also on the column, you notice that we invited a limited amount of students this year because we wanted to really serve the students that really needed the service. In years past, we served rising third graders and rising fourth graders. Now in years coming up, we're going to be required to serve more. So this was sort of a test run for us by serving the students that only needed to come. Some of those students that needed to come were not able to come or did not come because they had good cause exemptions. And good cause exemptions are reasons like they may have an IEP, they're limited English proficiency, or they may have been retained before. So those students had those good cause exemptions, even though they did not meet on the SE ready test. They were invited to come, but they were not required to attend. So at the end of summer reading camp, you will see on the right column those students that were promoted to grade 4. We did have 2 retentions, but overall we had success with our reading camp. At the end of summer camp, our students take the iReady assessment, and they have to score a 489 on that assessment, which is equivalent to what they would score on the SE Ready for being as scoring as approaching. So we are proud of that fact that we actually promoted a lot of our students with our summer camp. Another thing that I want to really mention is that our summer camp provides intensive and small group instruction. As you can see, these class sizes or these numbers are very, very low. That allowed our teachers to focus on really the reading deficits that our students were experiencing, which allowed them to serve them more effectively throughout the summer, throughout that 4-week period.
Mr. Combs, can I ask
Yes,
just a
sir.
question? Is there any overlap between the multilingual camp or summer program and the reading camp?
We do have, that's why the multilingual camp is housed at Maryville Elementary. So those students who actually needed to be a part of the reading camp, they were afforded that opportunity to be a part of that as well.
Thank you.
Good question. Our middle school camp was held at Georgetown High School, and those are students who did not, or they failed the content area as listed above. So in ELA, we had 3 students that were required to attend middle school summer camp, math 19, not required to attend, they were all given the opportunity to attend. So I just want to put that out there, even though you see this 31 students that were enrolled in the middle school summer camp, that does not mean there were only 31 students that needed to be, because this was an option for those people or those students or those families who wanted those students to be promoted. So in the summer school, middle school summer camp, there were 3 students that needed it for, were attended for ELA, 19 for math, 7 for science, and 2 for social studies. And you can see on the right column that we had a pretty good success rate in middle school. Those students that attended the middle school summer school program all achieved that goal of being promoted to the next grade based on the need for the content area that they were attending for. High school was a little bit different. High school, of course, you know, credits are required for graduation. So we offered credit recovery for those students who were not successful last school year in our high school summer camp, which was all summer camp. Elementary, I'm sorry. High school summer school program, which was held at Georgetown High School. So these are the students that opted to attend based on those content areas to get credit recovered for that content area. And as you can see, some of them were not successful, which means this school year, they are enrolled in those classes to recover those credits that they may have missed on last year, and they were not successful in summer school. Here's a breakdown by English. And we have it by mathematics. Algebra 1 will be a focus for us because, as you can see, that is a high number of students who needed to recover Algebra 1 credit from last school year. So that's a focus for us this year, and this course may be mentioning that. Here's social studies. Science. And of course,
And Mr. Collins is K-12. He's got it, great job. All right, so professional learning. So we offer professional learning usually throughout the year, and we provide, part of that professional learning is the coaching support. So, so typically we provide professional learning year long. This is specific to our summer when our teachers are coming back, so pre-service time. So from July 21st to July 30th, we have over 80 sessions of professional learning opportunities for our teachers and staff. The topics included, and these are just some of the topics that you can see here. We are still offering our letters, which is our literacy training for science of reading. You'll see fine arts, STEAM and the arts, interventionist support. We have a new math adoption with our new math standards, and so provided professional learning there, power-ups and technology. We got CPR, so we hit a lot of areas of support, and we provide that professional learning. It was an exciting time. I tried to hit as many that I could get to, and the energy was great in those sessions. So our division happening, so I'm 1 month in, and I'm here, so yay, I came back. All right, so all that's good, so that's me at the top. And then I have 2 executive directors, Mr. Cohens and Dr. Green. We have our Director of Special Services, our Director of Magnet Programs, Director of Accountability and Assessment, Director of Special Programs, Director of Support Services, and our Truancy Officer. You're familiar with the team, and I adore them, so I'm very blessed to be here. And so what do we do? What does our team support? So here are just some of the things that our team supports, and our goal is to feel like support to the schools. So really being able to take the great work that's happening in the schools, provide any additional support that our schools need so that every children can be successful. Let me go back. Did you see my animation? Okay, just want to throw that out there. Okay. Kids are waiting, all right. What's my technology? Yeah. You're welcome. All right, going into each area. So our magnet schools had a great launch day and their theme is Together as One. Mr. Collins and I were excited to be able to hear the keynote speaker, Patrick Briggs. He was a dynamic speaker, had the room just totally engaged, authentically engaged. It was a great day for the team and really launched by Patrick Briggs from Avid. Some great priorities that they're working on this year, really developing theme, implementation and monitoring. The implementation and monitoring are really important. So you get the professional learning, you need to be able to implement, and then the progress monitoring to make sure that we're able to do things as they are intended. Student and stakeholder voice, really listening to students, which is why the team is launching a student advisory committee. Teacher empowerment and project-based learning, or PBL. If you hear PBL, that's our project-based learning. Our assessment and accountability department are really focusing on all things assessment and accountability, including our strategic plan as a district and schools, and those updates have been approved by the state. I'm not going to read through all of these, but I will tell you the current data is embargoed. Schools have access to their data so they can make strong, informed instructional decisions, but the data itself has not been released to the public, so that will be coming. And then final revisions and reviews to the graduation cohort so that our numbers and data are nice and clean so that we can get all of that information back to us. So assessment and accountability. And they're also really helping with REAP 2025 and our Gear Up. And so professional learning has been provided for our middle and high schools that are in Gear Up, South Carolina. And so you'll hear more about that as the year progresses.
As far as, do we know exactly, or do we have an idea of when those scores will be released?
So typically, so I used to work for the Department of Ed in 2 different states, and so I haven't worked for this one, and I don't plan on it because I plan on staying right here. But typically what happens is they have to get all of the data kind of clean, and then part of it is releasing for grades, but on top of that, and we're gonna go a little bit further, is the identification of state support schools, so schools that would be CSI, TSI, ATSI, and they have to do that with the ranking of how schools fall. Typically, we should have like the release unembargoed data around September. Last year, when I looked, it was August, but typically by September, you'll have that. But the state identified schools won't be until about December. It's a wonky time, but they have all the reasons. There we go. All right, special programs, that's our federal programs, and ensure full compliance so that we can get those state and federal funds and do all the great things with them. And so some of the work that they are going to be working on is strengthening Title I program and effectiveness, making sure that our Title I funds that we spend are directly aligned with those schools' strategic plans, which also should be aligned to our district's strategic plan. Really enhancing services for our multilingual and our at-risk students, monitoring and evaluate program effectiveness, and I'm going to go into that a little bit further, some of the work that we are doing this year, and then strengthening our technology integration instruction. So instructional technology is how to teach using through technology as opposed to turning on a computer. So really truly integrating that work. So we are focused on that this year. For our media specialists, we have some of the most beautiful media centers in this district. I've hit almost every school, and that area is always a spotlight. So really promoting a culture of reading, getting children truly excited about reading and books, and being able to support the curriculum integration through our media specialists. Our special programs for our social workers supported by the district is improving student attendance. Students have to be here in order for achievement to increase. I am married to a man who fished all the time, great, and back in the day, as long as you could pass some exams, you made it through, but his attendance was not a fabulous thing, so I usually use him as don't do that kind of thing. And so really getting our kids here and making sure our families understand the importance of having our students here in school. Being able to collaborate on behavior and intervention plans, really making sure that every student's needs are met based on their specific needs and not as a whole. Really providing that staff training and coaching support. College and career readiness, that's our CTE and counselors. Our CTE program is looking great. We're beginning some implementation of some tiered credentialing. Dr. Brenda is working on increasing communication and marketing of our programs. The more kids know about it, the more they'll be interested. Notifications, letting them know and keeping them informed. Our counselors make phone calls, our schools make phone calls, our team, we've all had phone calls in the past few days, just making sure our kids are enrolled and registered and there, and that there's no hiccups on why they can't be there. Especially sometimes if there's an aftercare issue. I just worked with our district counselor today on providing families with some support for aftercare so that they can get their Dharmas to class. Special services, really looking at our instructional framework, our high leverage practices, best to meet the needs of our students. Some of the things you'll see is a crossover with our special ed department and our general ed, which is science of reading, or our structured literacy to support students that are dyslexic. Unique programs for low incident classrooms, our number worlds, grief counseling. It is like a one-stop shop for wraparound support services for our families and our students. Some new areas in special services this year is we have new procedures for homebound, 504, our IEPs, and our AEAs, which are our academic support people. And so making sure that all those procedures, because it can seem like a lot, making sure it doesn't feel overwhelming, and that, again, the coaching support is there to make sure these things are implemented. So our focus and priorities as a team this year, leadership development is very important, and it starts at our district level. And so building capacity with the district support that go into the schools so that we are all on the same page in support to the schools. Building strong school-based leadership teams, so that would be part of the work this year. And then looking at a leadership development pipeline. Some of the work we're looking at are future leaders, so anyone that might think they want to be a leader, even if they, we want people to stay good teachers, we like that, but with leadership opportunities, what our teachers have, and still be able to be in the classroom. So giving them some information and some support. The 212, that's our superintendent's second grade literacy initiative, getting that to the ground. As we know, you may not know, but it feels like a big leap from teaching second grade or being a second grade student to third grade, right? And so how do we support that work so our students feel ready when they have to take the big state assessment in third grade? So what does that look like? So a lot of that work this year will be done through collaborative planning, unit internalization, some lesson internalization, and coaching support for them. We're continuing with our LETRS professional learning. We have 4 schools that have, their staff have already been trained, and the remaining schools are being trained this year. Really focusing on data-driven decision-making, making sure every decision that's made as a district and as a school is based on data and not what we've always done or what feels good, but in the best interest of students based on that data. Alignment of our principal, assistant principal, and instructional coach meetings. From my experience, it's important that they're all on the same page and that they hear the same message. It will help with that first bullet of building strong school leadership teams, that they have the same instructional message in all 3 of those. And then we as the district will then go in and support that work. Curriculum and assessment review, making sure that what we're asking people to teach directly aligns with our standards, which directly aligns with our assessments. And so doing a complete review over our curricular resources and assessments that we are having our teachers and students implement. And then finally, implementation of the new math standards. So we have new math standards this year and a new math resources across. And so being able to provide professional learning. So it's one thing to do kind of what we call a sit and get. You get the information, you are now learning about the new resource, but the coaching support behind that, which is professional learning, is very important. And so making sure, again, that we're all on the same page and that support feels like support. So I was in a kindergarten class today where the teacher was implementing the new iReady math, and she was trying to get day 3 kids to do turn and talk. And so she was trying to say, okay, you're partnered up. One person's number 1, one person's number 2. She was a little nervous about it, but she did it was amazing. I was like, I wish I could have videotaped that. Like, it was so good. And so really making sure that they know that what they're doing is great, and that if they have any issues, we're here to support. So next steps for us, everything we do should be through the lens of continuous improvement. And for continuous improvement, this is from the Department of Ed here in South Carolina. Leadership is imperative, our culture, our building capacity, and effective instruction. And so if we look at that through continuous improvement, that
And it really is kind of like unbelievable, because I put so much trust and faith in people, and I have a zero tolerance for ignorance. And I just saw a post of the homecoming weekend, and you all are aware that homecoming is October 31st, the game at the high school. And usually we schedule the Alumni Fest the Saturday right after the fest. And this is scheduled to raise funds for the high school. And this is what we've been doing for the last 7-8 years, raising good monies and giving it to the schools in different areas to benefit the children. That's what we raise the money for. And each year we hold a few dollars to re-up for the event for the following year. And it's been getting better and better. Well, I just recently saw a post where the high school, we just canceled the fest because of a lot of things going on in our community this year. And we plan to reschedule. And because of the safetyness of the community, we wanted to make sure everybody was safe, especially our children. A lot of crime still hadn't been solved. A lot of shooting is still going on in the community. This past weekend had couple of incidents of still shooting in the community, shooting in people's house, that kind of stuff. So our concerns of canceling the fest really is to give our law enforcement time to try to get some of this stuff solved. So that's one of the main reasons we canceled the outdoor fest. And but I just saw a post that came from the high school where they have adopted the same concept that we just canceled and hosting it at the high school that Saturday on the field. No one from the high school have reached out to contact us, the Alumni Fest group, myself being the chairman, who have interacted and communicated with them all the time, giving them the utmost respect. This is so disrespectful for them to send out a post that they are going to be hosting the Alumni Fest field tailgating on the practice field with the same concept that we have hosts to get monies to fund the school, help support the school. Now, this is unbelievable that we have professionals leading our children that does this kind of undermining stuff. This is crazy. I can't believe that. Now, listen, don't get me wrong. It would have been nice if they had reached out and said, well, Ms. Scott, we heard that you all are concerned about the safetiness of the fest, and we wanted to come together to see if we can just ask for you all to join in and maybe come over to the school ground and host the fest there, because we appreciate all of the thousands of dollars that you all have put into us in the last few years. We appreciate it. And we want you all to come on, don't cancel. Come and join us over here, and we can let y'all just come and help out, and we'll help y'all out. But let me say this while I remember. The school staff, the principal, Mr. Frazier, they don't attend the fest. When we raising all that money to go give the school, you didn't see many faculty and staff out there supporting it. But I just overlooked that because I still wanted to make sure that the children benefit and the parents benefit. You know, you got to go deeper than just looking at the top of the surface. But today, when I saw this, and now I know I might jump around, but I just want to bring you up fully, because y'all know I don't jump around. I like to make things plain because I'm real. I'm real about what I do. Now, I've been calling the principal all week and left messages because we wanted to sponsor the alumni game there, and so we can raise some funds to give to the athletic department. Well, I wasn't getting any return calls from him. And I said, I left several messages, spoke to the secretary, left message for Ms. Wilson, who is the one accepting the money now for the fest that they want at the school. And nobody was calling me. So when I saw the post today, it just kind of like blew me away. And the part that blew me away is that because I can't believe that adults that are supervising our children have that much undermining and ignorance and hatred in their minds and hearts to backdoor people like this and win it all for the kids. I guess I'm just kind of mixed up as to, I guess I trust people too much, really. And I believe that people will be fair. But my concern is that you don't have to worry about being fair to Miss Martha Scott, because Miss Martha Scott don't even have any kids at the high school. Miss Martha Scott don't have grandkids at the high school. But Miss Martha Scott loved everybody, children, just like they were her kids at the high school. So I just got a lot to give. I ain't got a lot to lose behind people doing things like this. Now they're asking the same thing for the classes to give $500, the alumni classes. And I want the classes to continue to support the school. But our goal was to make sure that the money was used the way that we designed it to be used. And I got a feeling that that wasn't acceptable with them. They want to put it into the main pocket of the school and do what they want to do with it. Well, we already know our children not going to benefit the way they need to if they do it like that. But guess what? That's our money. That's y'all money. Y'all gave it. I made sure we transported it to the school every dime. We didn't get paid. I didn't want no pay. I ain't need no money. I don't need no money. The first few years of this fest, we give thousands of dollars out of our pockets. We still give money out of our pockets. I don't need the money. But I can tell you one thing. For them to do what they did today, they don't have to worry about Miss Martha Scott. I say it's unbelievable. I know people that do some dirty things, but when I see it full front right in your face, then I have concerns about other things that they will do. I don't trust them. And if I lose trust in you, then you ain't got to worry too much about me. Now, this is ridiculous that they did not make a phone call to our committee. They didn't make a phone call to our committee to say, why don't y'all come on over here to the school and host the fest? Don't cancel it. No, they sat there and planned behind our back and said they're going to do it. Well, do it. More power to you. Now, our people, we hosted it at the rec center. For those of you who didn't know why we were at the rec center, because some of the things that we were allowed to do under our own insurance and own responsibility, they had their coolers. They could bring their drinks. We didn't serve drinks. They had fun. I mean, you can have fun anywhere. But tell me on the district ground, how you going to prove that? You bet not take no coolers out there. And you bet not have no alcohol on the property, because I'm going to be the first one to tell if you do. It's unallowed. You shouldn't do it. You shouldn't do it. So more power to the school, but I can tell you the school one thing. As far as I'm concerned, we were raising all that money and I got beat up over asking the class for all of that money. Far as I'm concerned, we can reduce the doggone money because the school apparently don't need the money. You know, I was working hard. That's why I was asking y'all for the money, because I wanted to make sure we get money for the school. But if they're going to go this route here, we can just take the money. Y'all can have a good time. You know, Miss Martha Scott don't care whether the doggone event free once we pay for the cost of having the event. I just don't understand. You know, I really don't understand how you shoot yourself in the foot when a school when you're 50 classes, we got up to 50 classes donated. And we were giving them the money. Y'all, we give them about $31,000 last year. Different areas. I got the whole list print out. The year before that, we give them $25,000. We raised like $50,000, but we kept like $20,000 because the cost of funding these events is so expensive. And we got to have startup monies. Every dime is accounted for. Nobody gets paid. We run up and down the road, shopping, picking up things, doing contracts, signing my name to them, making sure that everything is covered, making sure y'all have a good time. And this is what they do. Now, we got some classmates have been on me telling me, stop giving the school money. And I thought they'd sound like a fool. But, you know, I figured that's not the right thing to do. But I just don't understand, you know, I don't understand why they would do something like this. Mr. Frazier and your team, Miss Wilson, if y'all didn't have anybody in the bunch of you all to say that's wrong, I pity y'all leadership at the high school. Again, if you all didn't have anybody between the coaches, Miss Wilson, Mr. Frazier, who all put this idea together and said it was a good idea, and not contact the original group that started this from scratch in 2016 or 2017, and you all moved forward and did this kind of stuff, I pity your heart, because a good, clean heart would not allow you to do this. Y'all have a good day. I love y'all, and we're going to be all right. We're going to be all right, and we want the ones that are organizing things, just be respectful, organize it well, and do the right thing, and let us keep one another and in our hearts and our prayers. And please keep the children and the safetyness in prayers, and keep the parents, always keep the parents in prayers, because this is just a small amount of what's going on in our community. And we try to figure out why. This is the answer to some of it. But y'all be safe. We'll be in touch, and we'll be back. I reached out to the committee, and they're just in shock. But this is unbelievable that they would do this in that manner. I mean, they're the school. It's all right to join in and work together. I've never been a person that I couldn't work with them, and we've always been open and free and kept them informed with everything. So they can't go back and say, we try to reach her. No, they never tried to reach me. Secretaries on both East and West Campus can go back to the phone log in the last 2 weeks that I was trying to reach them just to confirm the alumni game, which I won't have a part of. I won't have a part of that. But y'all be safe.